Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another backstage interview for the September edition of the Metals Investor Forum, which we are certainly, of course, all still doing from our homes and offices. I am joined today, right now, by Brian Fowler of North Star Gold. I think it's a really great time to have a catch up with Brian. North Star is exploring the Miller project. Brian can give us a little bit of a backstory of that project, but I sort of see they are drilling right now. And I think that there's a real opportunity here for investors who can get ahead of the market in terms of understanding the gold that they are finding at this asset, it's a little bit confusing right now because we're not sure what shape or form or scale the gold is in. But I think the signs that we're seeing are very positive. So, Brian, let's start with just the quick version of the backstory, sort of what Miller has been in the past and how you joined the story and why you joined the story and the opportunity from that initial point.
Great. Well, the Miller property is actually the site of the historic Boston Creek mining camp, and its zenith was in the turn of the century. There's 11 shallow shafts and some shallow underground development chasing high-grade gold telluride veins in mafic volcanics. The property's got the same signatures, Kirkland Lake deposits, with being gold telluride style mineralization. We've got the same geology. The mineralization has been dated the same. So we've got a lot of very compelling similarities. So the old timers recognized that very early on. Subsequently, we got things kind of died down in the early 1920s. They never really developed or came up with much production. North Star acquired the property by staking in 2012. Prior to this year's program, we had $2 million in expenditures in it. We now got about 10,000 meters of drilling, and the exploration focus has evolved quite considerably from chasing narrow high-grade veins in the mafic volcanics to recognizing that there are 3 cyanide intrusions on the property that are highly altered, and are particularly the allied cyanide seems to be the center of this entire system. So we've been, like I said, this is just our first kick at drilling the project since we went public earlier this year. And we spread our drilling out on chasing some of the historic estimate in the narrow high-grade veins, but also putting some holes in the allied cyanide, where we were rewarded quite handsomely with the discovery of 4 new zones. So we're very excited about that. The grades there's some narrow high grades, but there's also some very broad low grade intervals when you put these components and flatline veins together. So where this is going right now, it's looking like we've got something that we certainly have a lot of gold. Most holes hit gold. We just got to figure out the petroleum geometry, and like I said, every hole you drill, you learn more. So I'm really excited about what we got right now, and getting back at it here later this fall.
I mean, I think, and when I said at the beginning that I think there's a bit of an opportunity in North Star right now, you really hit on it with that description. You're hitting gold in every hole. You're approaching the project from a different position than the ground has been looked at before. It's not just these high-grade veins. But the market loves straightforward stories. Oh, you're chasing high-grade veins. Oh, you're chasing bulk disseminated target. Here we have the whole mixed bag, and you're not exactly sure which one is going to come to the fore, be the most important. When I look at your results that you've had recently, I mean, like you say, you get gold in every hole and in multiple rock types and with multiple styles. To me, that suggests that there was a pretty strong mineralizing system. Once, if you just can outline a big body of gold, it doesn't actually matter the details. But right now, investors are sort of like, wait, what should I be expecting from the Miller project? Should I expect narrow high grade? Should I expect broad low grade? But really, you just need more drilling for you to figure it out, and the investor who can see that there's a fair bit of gold here might be grabbing onto an opportunity.
Exactly. No, we've got the Kirkland style is great, and in terms of grade and the continuity of these veins. Our number one vein, which has the historic estimate, has been traced on surface for 750 meters along strike and an equal distance down dip, and the thing is still going. So these veins, the veins that are in the volcanics, definitely have legs, and they carry on for a long period, great distance. The intrusions are incredibly altered. I've never seen, all the years I've been a geologist, I've never seen this style, this intensity of alteration in the allied syenite particularly. So that to me tells me it's obvious that there's been a tremendous amount of fluids that have gone through the rock, and these fluids are gold bearing. And so the challenge is to figure out where most of this gold dumps. And it's dumping in veins, flat veins. It's dumping on the margins of the intrusion. It's dumping within the intrusion. We've discovered what we believe is a vertical feeder at depth in the allied syenite. We're getting some very good numbers, and it just needs some more drilling to figure out the overall geometry and controls. I'm very excited about hole 47. We drilled on the west side of the allied syenite. First time we've drilled on that side, and that's where we got 100, over 100 meters of 1.4 grams. So this is, and it's wide open along strike as well as further out to the west, because there's some very big structures out there as well. So these are all very compelling components of the property. It just needs more drilling, and we'll put it together. We just gotta keep at it.
And so you have some drill results pending still, and then you'll head back out to do more.
That's correct. We have actually 3 cyanide bodies in the property. We drilled 2 this go around, 6 holes in the allied and 4 holes in the planet syenite, which is a kilometer to the northwest. We have indications of similar broad low-grade zones on the margin of that syenite. Also some higher grade, narrower intercepts within it. So we put 4 holes into it, and just over 800 meters. We're awaiting those results, and we hope to get those out very soon.
Perfect. And then you'll figure out the next plan, which will be more drilling, because we've just, I think we dove right into how much drilling is needed to test this, or how we're both excited to get more drilling done so we can better understand this system.
Absolutely. We've got a pretty good idea. We modeled the geology the best as we can. We had a $350,000 geophysics program that we're just getting into the results now. This is really going to help us 3D IP, gravity, and mag. So it's really going to bring a whole new dimension to and tool for us to understand the geometry of these intrusions. And the geophysics shows that these intrusions are centered to a 600 meter by 1.6 kilometer. It's open. It extends off the edges of the survey. Chargeability anomaly, which is suggestive of sulfide in the volcanics outboard of these cyanites. So when we're getting gold numbers on the flanks of the cyanite in pyritic volcanics, and we see that type of signature, geophysical signature of depth, that gets us pretty excited. So we know where some structure, we know the main structures are, and we're just going to follow this up, and yeah, hopefully a lot of good things.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I think that was a great update, a great sort of capture of where you are and where you're going, and why you're excited about the story. So thanks very much, and I look forward to seeing what you can pull out, what you have pulled out of Planet Cyanide, and then where you go from there.
Thanks so much, Gwen. Your interest is greatly appreciated.